Okay, so I'm recording this video to say my thoughts out loud and practice speaking without saying like or too many times, and just overall choosing my words carefully and speaking about a specific topic for a relatively longer period of time. Hopefully, maybe we'll say 3 or 4 minutes, maybe it'll be a minute, maybe it'll be five, but probably not much longer than that. The reason I want to do this is because I really believe that technology is removing an aspect of us that makes us human, or at least an aspect that has made us human in the past. And whether that aspect will continue into the future remains to be seen, I guess. And so I suppose what I mean by that is, I think with how we have our phones on us all day long, and in a way they're symbiotic with us, in the sense that we can look anything up at any moment, we can send texts off at any moment. There's almost no need for long-term memory in the human brain anymore. Maybe in a more so hyperbolic sense, but it's almost like if I have a thought, I can act on that thought instantly. So for example, if I think of something that I want to know, if I think about when was this country established, what was some historical fact about this country, I no longer have to remember that idea, remember that thought, and bring it up again when I'm able to access either the internet at home or a library or a textbook. Now I can act on that thought impulsively, and I can go to Google and I can look up, when was Liechtenstein founded? Why does Liechtenstein exist? And in a way, many people see this as valuable because we have all this access to information, but I don't need to know why Liechtenstein exists. And if I really care, if I really want to know why Liechtenstein exists, then if it's that important to me, I should be able to hold on to this memory in my mind long term, so that I can go to a library or I can find a textbook and I can put effort into that fact. And I think if I were to exist in this world where I have to put in energy into accessing this information, the information I access becomes more memorable. But if I'm on the bus and I can just look up when Liechtenstein was created, and I see, I don't know, let's say it was created in 1850, then that information is most likely not going to stick in my mind, because there are probably there's just an unwieldy, maybe that's the proper word. It's an amount that we can't handle unless we have these crazy capacities for memory. And so, to connect this back to a more previous thought, I think that this has impacted our speech, it's impacted our intelligence, and I think overall we're just becoming dumber with the amount of technology that's in our lives, the way that the internet pervades our daily life. And part of that really scares me, because it feels like the human condition peaked in the last couple of centuries, and we're on a bit of a decline. But I also believe that that doesn't necessarily have to be true, and that we can live our lives in a way that maximizes all of the benefits of modern society without taking on all of the burdens of modern society as well. And so what I mean by that is I can live in a society that is technologically advanced, but if I choose to live in the right way, then maybe I can live in this society without getting overwhelmed by all of the information that's thrown at us. And I think that this is most exemplified in the way that people interact with news. And I think that it's dangerous that we have such real-time, up-to-date information to news that we don't necessarily comprehend or we don't know the full context of, but we are made to have an opinion of. And I think in many ways, we don't even form our own opinions, but we go to comment sections, we go to influencers, we go to see what other people that we trust, what they believe. So I think that this is bad because it just creates an environment where it's just a misinformation environment in general. So yeah, I think I can't remember what my original point was. Maybe in the future I should write down a script, a little bit of a prepared central topic. But for now, I wanted to record this first video, and perhaps I'll upload this one day, perhaps I won't.